and opinions expressed on the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of alltalkradio.net.
Wow, you're just waking up? It's the afternoon. Well, you're in luck. We've got a show for you. Now here's your hosts, Tiffany Masters and Michael Sartain.
And guest host Tabitha Stevens. All that energy that just came in. We've got equipment falling around.
With a special guest appearance by Gravity.
Yeah, and a ghost.
Yeah.
You go like this. We're teaching Tabitha how to do technology today.
I only know one kind of technology, and that's hand technology. Well, and maybe a couple other things.
Techniques. Well, today's show is going to be very interesting. I love this because it's CES week in Las Vegas, which is the Computer Electronics Show.
It's Consumer Electronic Symposium, but nobody calls it that. But that's actually what it's called.
So this is Michael Sartain. He is the brains of our panel. Our beauty is Tabitha, and I'm here to host this all in between. But it's great because I wanted Tabitha to come on the show today because CES, I think, really became popular because of us back in the day with the industry where, come on, it was the same week as the Adult Video Network convention.
Before the .com boom, they used to have CES and the AVN Awards the same weekend, and it would happen every week, and you'd have all these guys, these .comers that would come in, and they would have.
Did you ever go?
Huh? Yeah. They would have ridiculous amounts of money to spend.
But the problem was they weren't going to the convention.
Yes,
to
well, you know.
Yes.
Why don't you tell your experience?
They would go to AVN, yeah.
Yes, they would go to the. At the time, it was AVN, and they would go to the expo, and
which was at Sands back in our day.
Yep.
Yeah, and the CES was in the
same building.
Yeah.
And we all stayed at the Venetian.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, I was involved in that in 1995.
Yeah.
So it was even it was at the Aladdin, I think, the first time.
Wow.
Yeah, it's my first convention, and we all wore gowns when we went to the awards, and it was a huge deal. And then later on, they took it to different venues, and when they had the awards, there was a big buffet, ice sculptures, open bar.
I'll be hosting it this year. I'll be hosting the red carpet this year, but then
It's
you
changed.
and I have our it's changed a lot.
It's not the same.
And it's not the same week, y'all. This is why we're going to be telling our stories today. Especially, I want to hear some really funny geek stories. I know I have mine.
That's mine right here. All right, I'm not hanging right now because my hanging drops.
Falling.
My hanging drops. Everybody,
so with the Computer Electronic Show, I never went to it because I always had to work the adult convention that was over inside the expo. And I think tickets were $500 each. They were selling just to get in, to get autographs from us. And that's where I started my industry, was the very first time that I actually became an adult writer is because I was welcomed into going to the porn convention.
Right.
Through Harlan Shapers with Profit Pack, which is old mobsters where they used to rip the cover off of the front of an adult magazine, and then they'd be all the expired magazines.
Oh.
And then Harlan would put a new cover on, wrap it in plastic, and have 3 expired magazines. And this is when I met Larry Flint.
Oh, okay.
And I was this little girl from Kansas watching everyone around, and I'm like, wow. And they're like, what do you do? And I'm like, oh. Okay, I wanted to be, I was with Jenna, I was around you, I was around all these big superstars, and you guys were major celebrities. It was a 2-hour line to get your autograph and a photo taken with you. It was major, and then I'm like, I'm the #1 adult journalist. They're like, what's that? And I said, well, you've heard of a sports journalist, right? And they're like, yeah, and I'm like, well, I'm the best adult journalist. And then I went back, and I made cards I made cards at Kinko's that very same day for $50. I'll never forget this. Went back, took my cards back to the convention the next day, and handed them out to everyone that said, #1 adult journalist. I have a copy. I've met this guy that's one of my bucket list members, and he's like, I have your old card. I'm like, oh, wow. I hope you burn that. As a matter of fact, can you please bring it back to me because I don't want any evidence. Instead, he scanned it in and sent it to me on my Facebook.
No, you got to keep that stuff.
I was topless. I wanted to be that. I wanted to be.
Like, he left, like, this whole story is about, there's a card of me that's topless, and it's just floating around, and I forgot to mention that. But yeah.
Yeah, how do you not
remember
mention
But it
that
was
part?
the-
That was the best part. I want
Yeah,
that.
you know, I did that. You know, I was doing a movie or whatever. I forgot to mention it was with a pig and a midget, and it was an orgy.
Oh, you did one of those too? Oh
Yeah.
my
Would not
gosh, right
compare
on,
me
Michael.
topless to
But
being
you know
with a
what?
pig and a
I
midget.
needed,
Thank you.
I needed money. I was in college, and I was confused. Like,
I was confused.
But that's funny.
But I mean, it was all these geeks, and I felt like, and so anyway, I moved back to Kansas.
it messed you up that bad, huh?
And then the next year I came back,
Right.
and I was autographing a magazine because I started writing. You know, I put it in the universe. And I started writing, and I was signing these little fake calendars, acting like I was somebody once again.
Oh no, were you
It's amazing
topless?
what King
Wait,
goes
were you
through.
in topless in these calendars?
It was a better picture. It was see-through, kind of, yeah. It was
Okay.
very...
Michael, you see where this is going? I'm just saying. No,
but I still had not done porn because
Right.
here was the whole thing. They were said, you know, Harlan's like, oh, I'll introduce you to everyone in the industry. I would go to Wicked Pictures,
Right.
and I would write about it.
Right. No,
you
it's
know?
better that you.
I'd write
don't do
about
that,
you.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I
right,
didn't
exactly.
like wasn't, you know.
No, you
and-
had a little disconnect, which is good because then you
Yeah.
get to see people differently than if you were to be involved in the industry as, let's say, a star who actually is a writer as well, which people try to do nowadays, which is very strange to me. But, you know, hey, you know, it's going to, you know.
Well, this is where I'm really going to get really in. Well, I'm going to come out and tell you, if you Google, and I've been fighting with this,
Okay.
that it was the next year.
Okay.
One of these computer electronics geeks came up with a microphone and a handheld camera, which we're going to be doing actually at the convention that's coming up
Beware.
in 2 weeks.
beware.
That
I'm gonna-
a guy said, "What was your first porn?"
Right.
You did.
Oh.
And I've got all these lights and cameras and microphone on me and a line of people,
Oh, my gosh.
all these geeks waiting for my autograph.
Oh, no. See, I had to
But
say
I'm not a
something.
star.
Did
Okay,
you-
I'm faking it, right?
Right.
I'm still faking it, still trying to be
You
a
did
writer.
what I did my whole career. Go ahead.
And I'm standing there and I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God. And like people are coming around and they're getting ready to listen about what was my first porn. Well, I haven't done porn. We all know
Right.
that. So I made it sound like, well, there was this one time in college that I made this home video for my boyfriend. His name was Hugh. And I wrapped myself in blue lights that was still connected to the wall. And I danced to the song, I'm Dreaming of a Blue Christmas or something like that. And or a White Christmas
Wait,
or
did you,
something.
did
just
you really
said-
do that?
I
though?
really did it, but it wasn't a porn.
Oh, okay.
But to them, they were like,
Oh,
"Oh, isn't she?" You know. So, but I really did it.
But did you tape it?
Yeah, and then
What,
I
can
gave
I
it to
see
him for
that?
Christmas. I hope to God he burnt
Oh,
that
you're
VHS.
so
I don't even
funny.
think they make betas.
Well,
anymore.
George and I have a great announcement for you. George, go ahead and turn the producer app on because we have that video. We just found it.
Hey.
It was on beta. We had to find a company that would move beta over to data. Over to
Beta to data.
digital.
Beta to data.
Beta to digital, yeah.
That's right. Tiffany goes from beta to data.
Yeah.
That's a movie in itself. That's a good
Right.
movie name.
Oh, great! I'm already having age issues. So that was my CES. So now I've been fighting this because it was actually a documentary. So if you Google me, it'll say Tiffany Masters porn star and Fluffy comes a lot.
Oh, I've been in Fluffy Comes a lot too. They made me their girl on the front of their
It
card.
says I play myself, porn star.
So that-
I've never done porn.
So Tabitha's
I
saying
tried
they're
to
a
get that
reputable
ticket down.
company?
Well, no, they actually
But
did something.
Ron
It's on the-
Jeremy's on there.
Yeah,
like
I'm
I
in.
have called this scumbag so many times and said, I am not a porn star.
Right.
Take that off.
Huh. They took my picture and used it as like the girl signing with her mouth, with her smile and the big teeth. That would be me. And I have blonde hair, and you didn't see my whole face. They used part of it.
Now
from
it's
here to
some
the
other
boobs.
blonde. It's not you.
Really? Oh, then they changed it. But yeah, that's. how it
He's
is.
a loser. So I've been working on getting me off of IMDb because I also produced a
Right.
movie starring James Woods and Stephen Dwarf. And I had my other producer friends call me and say,
Right.
you're on porn.
Right.
And then
Good luck
this.
getting- yeah,
this
that thing-
doesn't look good.
It's hard to take those things off.
So
as
they
well.
made me like associate producer and not executive like I was. So
Ooh.
yeah,
Ah.
I came in with the money, honey, and
Yeah.
we produced it. So
Wow.
anyway, CES, beware. Now anybody thinks they can be a producer, you know.
Yes. But can anybody be a porn star? Well, ask Miss Blue Light over here, the Blue Light special. I'm joking.
I'm the Blue Light special.
Because she bought blue Christmas lights.
Well, that's true. Anybody can, and I think that's what's changed this industry. But it made CES, I think, convention so popular what it is today. People came because of the porn convention.
I mean, there was definitely a lot of that. Well, a lot of people.
Honey, I'm going for
a lot
computers.
of people would come here for CES, and you're right. And the reason why the two have been split up, and again, this is just rumor. I've heard this from several places. Wasn't because it was hurting the porn convention, but because it was hurting the symposium. So what they did was they moved the symposium away. Remember, it wasn't always.
Yeah, remember they tried to separate the hotels?
They tried to separate them.
No,
and then they separated weeks because what was happening is you had too many, like, kids of executives or executives being caught in hotel rooms with hookers, and it was
I love how porn stars become.
Where did kids come into play here? Kids can't afford $500 tickets to get in.
I'm not comparing. I'm not saying one is exactly the other, but there are a lot. Like if you go to the. I'm not going to say the name of the hotel I was at last night, but like you
really you were there
lined up with prostitutes because that's all these nerdy dudes that show up here and they pretend to care about
what are you doing later tonight?
Toyota's new fuel cell.
Go to that hotel. Yeah, let's go see the hotel.
I mean, if they were only here to go to CES, then why was the Rhino packed on a Tuesday night? That's all I got. I'll just answer that one for me. I mean,
I sent my clients over to Sapphires.
Yeah, or Sapphire.
I didn't leave.
Or Crazy Horse 3.
Or Crazy Horse 3 or wherever. They were completely packed. And people are asking me, where do I go? What do I do? And like, look, it's a Tuesday night in Diplo's at Surrender. It's a big deal. Like, guys want to go out and party. They come to Vegas. If they want, they would have this in Des Moines. Like the Berkshire Hathaway stockholder convention.
What is statistics? How many people are here then?
I don't know. It's a pretty massive number, and yes, it does grow every year.
I'm more impressed with this year than last year. It wasn't as busy as the previous years, but I think this year they're killing it.
There's other things that are happening, like for instance, the new things that Google is doing, the new things that Tesla is doing.
Oh yeah.
They're like we are living in the future. The lithium ion lithium battery that's going to change the world is coming. It's very quickly coming.
And Tesla's here too.
Yeah, Tesla's
in Nevada.
Yeah, Google Glass is coming. Solar City is coming. These things are happening now. I was just listening to Larry Page and Sergey Brin, the guys who founded Google, talking about how actually a lot of the stuff that these search engines were created for was artificial intelligence, and then they realized, hey, this will help with search. So if you look at a Google search engine, it's actually you're asking a robot, hey, can you help me with this? And he's giving you an answer in context. That's artificial intelligence. And so this is happening now. It's the explosion.
Is insane.
The explosion is massive, and then you see guys like Mark Cuban. He has his new product called CyberDust. It's CYBER space dust, and it deletes everything you send. If you send video, if you send text message, whatever, it not only deletes it on their phone, it deletes it on your phone, and then it deletes it on the server. And the reason why he was investigated by the Security and Exchange Commission for insider trading, and he wanted to get rid of, he's like, the SEC can do anything they want to you. So in order to protect his privacy, he came out with the CyberDust app. We see all kinds of things. I'm really excited about Google Glass. I cannot wait for that to become.
What exactly is that?
Google Glass, you wear these glasses. They have a camera right here on your right eye, and then there's an LED that comes over your right eye, so you can actually, while you're walking around talking, you're getting info from your phone.
Like Michael, I could be walking, and Michael could see me, and they could say Tabitha Stevens. It could recognize who you are.
Yeah, it could recognize your face, and you can still.
How
you
scary
can go,
is that?
We are absolutely in Star Wars age. This is the thing. I mean, we're talking about stuff that I could have never even really in my wildest dreams ever.
It's coming.
In the next 15 years, maybe in the next 10 years, we will have a car that drives itself. The new laser technology that, by the way, Google is coming up with this for some of all companies. Google is the one really interested in artificial intelligence. So they're coming up with a new car that can drive itself.
2020. I saw that on the news. Self-driving car.
It depends on the funding. Honestly, you can make anything happen because Boeing and Lockheed were talking about us getting to Mars in 2035, and now Elon Musk shows up with his little ass company. He can do it for 1/4 the cost, and we're gonna be on Mars in 10 years with this guy because he's a genius. Larry Page said that when he dies, if he was smart, he'd give all his money to Elon Musk, the guy who runs Tesla, the guy who runs SpaceX, because the future is now. CES is probably the best example of where you can see the future happening right now, and it's just pretty amazing the way things are going, and it's exponential. Like I honestly.
Let me ask you something though, Michael. I mean, okay, so we get it. That's all artificial intelligence. Okay, and part of I think that bringing in the adult industry at that time too is because these guys live, and I know because I'm behind my computer all day long.
Yeah.
If I were a guy, I would want that human touch. I don't think that there's something that's really wrong with the hookers being lined up and giving them some attention. Didn't you do some analytics and some what the census is on
about
relationships
marriage?
are today?
Okay, this is
Because I'm just confused because we live behind our phones
first
and our
off-
laptops
first off,
and our. Where's the personal, physical?
Yeah,
So-
I want to feel it, Michael.
Okay,
Tell me how
okay.
I feel it, please. Michael, am I embarrassing you again? Are you getting all red? Look, you're sweating. Can
Okay.
I? Can I
Yes,
touch your
he's
sweat?
sweating.
okay.
Let me touch
all right.
it.
So
Oh,
let's
lean over. I can't-
let's.
All
All right, so
Yeah.
so
Oh,
I
he's
did
so
I did some
soft.
research last night on marriage and cohabitation in the United States, and here's the funny part. Where do you think I found the data on marriage? George, take a guess. Where would I find the official statistics on marriage and cohabitation?
Google.
Well, no, I went to Google. Obviously,
Pornhub.
Google. No,
No.
Pornhub would be great.
Those are wives cheating. Remember?
By the way, who indexes more porn sites than any other website in the world? Google. Google does through their artificial through their
So
their backlink
Pornhub
index.
is really.
Right. But anyway, so the point I was trying to make is I went to search these statistics on marriage and data. You would think naturally the U.S. Census would be the place to look for that. If not, there may be the Department of Labor. If not, there may be the Internal Revenue Service because people file jointly. No, the Center for Disease Control.
What?
Oh, I believe that.
All
I believe
marriage
that. Yes.
and divorce and cohabitation statistics are officially held by the
Wow.
Center for Disease Control. I thought that, to me, that was the most telling thing of all. And I thought it
Wow,
was
because
pretty
I go
funny.
to weddingreports.com and I pay a fee every
Right,
month.
and if you go to Wedding Reports, they get their information from the
That's
CDC.
crazy.
So go to
wow.
cdc.gov and look up marriage
So
and
are
divorce
we
rate.
up or are we down
We're-
with 2015
we're-
prediction?
We're actually about the same. It's so
'Cause
about.
I read 4%
point-
increase.
About
I was like,
points,
go. Yeah.
about 0.68 of 1%. So 0.7 of 1% of the population gets married every year. It's about a little bit more than 2 million.
But at least we're
weddings
not
a year.
decreasing this year.
No,
it looks
no.
like we're starting to go up. So there is hope out there, everyone.
About 20% of, I believe, 20% of marriages fail or end in divorce or separation after 5 years. 33% end after 10 years. And then for cohabitation, people just living together, it's like 59% of people separate after 10 years. So it's not, it's
Oh, wow.
much less likely for you to stay long term if you don't get married, which is logical. I mean, if you imagine. But the numbers for marriage kind of stay the same. What you'll find is that Anglos tend to be married more than other races. And then women tend to be married more than men. Those are two things that I noticed.
You're talking
That's
to the
what
queen.
she.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
What are your statistics, Tab?
All right. 4 times married. 3 times I was married and divorced before I was 30. So I was married for a couple of years one time.
And I think that the older you get, the longer you're married.
this is my
Yeah?
longest
So,
marriage right now.
Did you look at that one?
Yeah, I mean, well, actually, it had more to do with children, if you had children or not. So
Yeah, I don't have
actually,
kids.
the marriage rates have gone down. It was 6.8 for these last 3 years. It was 7.1. So that's 7.1 people out of 1,000. So it's 0.7% of the population gets married. So actually,
Well, once they're allowing gays,
Yeah.
it's on.
Ma-
It's
marriage-
yeah,
going
that's
up.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ma-
it'll go way up.
marriage rates go down. But the thing is, some other things. This is the most telling statistic, and I won't show you the other 50 states. But look at this. Let's see if you can find Nevada in there for the
Look,
marriage
Kansas
rate.
is right there.
But look at Nevada. Just go down
I'm
to
from there.
go to Nevada and tell me what you notice.
There it is. Whoa. That's weird.
Nevada, the marriage rate in Nevada is 10 times what it is in most other states. So,
What?
So it's six.
Wait a second. That is. Oh, you know why?
Those
Because we
Catholic-
don't have common law marriage in the state of Nevada. You have to get married. They do not.
Well, people come here to get
Right.
married. That's
Yeah.
also so that skews the statistic. Also, we have a very low population, so that's the reason why.
Oh, it
so,
could be, yeah.
So if you look at, for instance, let's just say
that's a huge difference.
Yeah,
it's
the-
like 7%
so-
to 38%.
So the average I said before was
5%.
again, it's not 7%. It's 0.68 people out of 1,000 get married every year, and in Nevada, it's 36.9
Wow.
people out of 1,000 get. So it's 10 times.
That's
It's
big.
almost it's about 5 times the average.
does
Well,
it
it's
matter where
easy.
they live, or does it matter where they get married?
No, I think it's where you get married, right?
Yeah, I think it's
because
where- it's where you get
I
married,
lived in
yeah.
California. at
Oh,
one
okay,
point.
well, everybody gets
By the way,
married.
the divorce rate, so the marriage rate is 6.8 per 1,000. The divorce rate is 3.6. So it's actually about, again, and you've all heard the statistic before, about 50% of marriages end in divorce. So that means it can go past 10 years. but eventually 50. We have the highest divorce rate in the entire world here in the United States. And then again, percentage married by race and sex: 44% of white men are married. 51% of white women are married.
Yeah.
So you can see those statistics are
So
kind of
why do you
interesting.
think why do you think it ends in divorce like that, Michael?
And I think it's going to.
Okay, well, I mean,
Don't get us
you
on
ready?
dating
Okay,
and
so-
relationships
so-
here. We'll
so
be
go
at each
ahead.
other's
So
throats.
it's you can tweet me at michaelsartain.com with your hate mail, because here it comes. The reason why is because, and by the way, I am a Protestant. I hope to get married one time and stay married for the rest of my life. I know that may not be very realistic, but that's what I hope to do. Now,
Told you, it's in them.
with that
Yeah.
with that being said, yeah, maybe
Right.
when I'm 55.
Okay, that's okay.
With that being said, the reason why marriage has a hard time working is because for the majority, remember, 4.5 million years of hominids running around hunting in packs with no language, no written language, no kind of government, nothing like that, killing the next guy in line, taking all the women they want. 4.5 million years of that, and then 11,000 years of agriculture, language, the basically modern
So it's
society.
in our DNA, pretty
right.
much.
Basically,
So that's
so if you weigh that, this is how much has been basically take what you want, rape and hunt and forage, and this has
Yes.
been how much we've had of Microsoft, internet, YouTube and Facebook. So we are we are evolutionarily designed for this longer period of time, basically pre-Pleistocene epoch. And in those times, you would stay with the mother of your children for maybe 3 years until the
move
child, and then move on. And that's what men would do. That's just why
But I think women's roles have changed so much. Here
Okay,
comes that alpha in me.
Right, I agree with you, but the question
We're
is
not meeting you there
the,
anymore.
the question is, why did these
We're
divorces
on
not work?
Pinterest.
And it's because
the guys have their need for
we,
their thing.
we are not biologically designed. There's again, I keep bringing this book up and I keep telling you guys to read it. Why beautiful people have more daughters. And one of the studies one of the studies in there, they talk about they postulate that the reason why men go through midlife crisis is not because of some sort of biological or hormonal change in men. It's because their wives go through menopause. That's the reason why, and then all of a sudden that causes them to act crazy and buy the Ferrari, and then
Really?
Yes, that's.
Are you
that's-
serious?
That's
Okay,
what
so
it
I have
does.
all right. So what?
Again,
if-
I've been asking you to read this book for almost
Okay.
8 months now.
I will read this,
Yes.
and I have to say this: if I ever got to that point, which I'm sure it's going to be coming up, I'll get that little pellet in my butt that makes me have more testosterone, so I'm like totally
Does
like
that
horned up all the
We've got to
time.
ask Dr. Irene that if that will eliminate
Again,
menopause.
at
though.
michaelsartain.com, please, or at Michael Sartain, please don't send your hate mail to anything else. And I've turned comments off on my blog.
So you're saying that a man can.
Again,
No way.
Again, this is I'm
Honey,
quoting.
you're going through menopause.
am
I
quoting-
need to go to the strip club
No.
to
How
buy a
do you
Ferrari.
know?
And
Is
go
it-
to the
is it your
gym.
attitude, though?
completely,
Please.
unconscious reaction.
Oh,
I am
so
not.
it's not, you don't even. All right, so you wouldn't even know. Let's say. All right,
Don't give our audience the reason to go home and say, honey, because of your menopause, I need to go with
No.
the boys.
No,
and,
but
you know.
would you know that she's actually menopausal? I mean,
Yes.
So that's
yes.
how it
So
happens.
again,
Okay.
this goes back to the
I'm
study.
curious.
It's like there are things there. We sit there and we postulate about pheromones and different things like
Mm-hmm.
that. There are certain physiological changes in women when they go through menopause, and if a man can sense it, again, don't send the hate mail at me. Go read the book. His name is Dr. Satoshi Kanazawa. And he wrote a book called Why Beautiful People Have More Daughters. Please read the book. There's lots of scientific evidence in here, and it's very controversial. But I'm not even saying I agree with it. I'm just bringing this up.
Okay, so I guess we could test this out because, Tabitha and I, in the next 10 years, will be probably
Well,
going through
actually,
something.
I'm going to be 45.
Are we gonna? Are you gonna like go crazy on us? 'Cause
What do
you'll
you
be
mean
the
go crazy?
crazies.
Yeah.
Do you have to be married to her? Do you have this excuse? Are we gonna lose George one day? Is he gonna jump in a Ferrari and take off with some blonde in the seat and be like, it's Tabitha and Tiffany?
Yeah, no big
Pretty
deal.
in there, so they're going through menopause. I need an excuse to go get a Ferrari.
With George, the answer is unequivocally yes. That
Oh,
will
wait,
happen
I
with
have-
George.
Oh, here we go. Okay. What about women, okay, who maybe have had a hysterectomy at a young age, who are on hormones because you're going through the menopausal stage at a young age? Would that work with that
Well,
marriage
again, the control
too?
group is
I mean,
the
is it just
survey.
focusing on age?
The survey group is so small for that. What you're saying,
Okay.
and there's been no study on that I don't know
Ah,
the answer.
see, they need to
I don't know
figure
the
that
answer.
one out, 'cause I'm
By the way,
curious.
hey, women get tired of guys too.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Don't. That's the
So you're
that's the
saying
other part of it.
guys have to go through some type of hormonal change in their life?
Yes. At the same time, men have children in their 70s. I had a lieutenant colonel I used to work for who had his first child at 59.
Wow.
And
I like how he says they had their first child.
Yeah.
we have yeah. I'm 37 and I don't have any children. So yes, if that's the point. You're
I'm
trying to bring
44
up.
and I don't have any children either. Oh, look at this. We're high-fiving. Okay. Yeah.
I have no comment.
I'm going to squeeze your butt, though. Okay. This is crazy.
But I am at that point in their life. It's like, back to the artificial intelligence and living behind, my Kindle, my 2 laptops, my 2 phones, my everything that I have surrounded now. We're filming everywhere we
Everything
go. And now we're talking about jumping in an RV and going across America and like film.
Yep.
I would choose living this life than having another child.
Yeah.
Or getting
I
married.
think when you get older,
down.
that helps too. I think as you age too. Like at one point, I did want children, and it was unsuccessful. And you know what? Now that I'm older, I'm like, you know what? I'm so glad it didn't work out. There is a reason. To me, there's always a reason for everything, and that was my reason. Is because I need to be out there doing my thing, chicken wing, and
Doing my thing, chicken wing.
being Tabitha Stevens, and that's my life. That's my career, and that I think kind of comes.
But
first.
what's going to happen to us 10 years from now?
I'm going to be hot.
I got
That
an idea.
AI, it's like Google.
What's going to happen?
Have you watched that movie
What's going to happen
with
to us 100
Phoenix?
years from now?
Yeah.
You know, when
I'm gonna
he
still
has
be
a
alive.
relationship with his phone, it's like a Siri.
Oh, yeah, I've heard
But
that.
it's so crazy. I can talk to my phone. I was cursing about something
Was
the
that the
other
movie
day.
Her? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, now I want to see it. I thought
haven't
that was
seen
just
It
some,
is
that was some
so
corny ass movie. I didn't realize
good.
that
It's deep. It's something you want to watch alone. But my phone will talk to me.
Wait,
if
why-
I'm
why do you wanna
cursing
watch
and
it
going off,
alone?
something happened, and I had 2 witnesses. I had my son and Bama with me. My phone said, "There's no need for this type of language."
Yeah, my phone does
Really?
that too. If you have it plugged in, your phone will automatically recognize voice, but it won't do it if it's not plugged in.
It spoke to
Yeah,
me.
mine does it
This
all
is
the
my
time.
boyfriend Sam. Yes, we obviously have a relationship.
Do you have to turn it on though for it to do that? Because mine doesn't say anything to me.
Yeah, yours will say stuff to you if you have the newest version of iOS and it's plugged
Oh,
in.
I'm sorry, Bob. You
Now,
have to
what do you
help
mean
me
by
with that.
plugged
I don't know
in?
what to do.
Mine was in my purse, but if I have it like this is a. Now, if I'm like this, okay, so I'll say not right now. No, I'll
Right.
stop. So if it's just sitting there right now, so it'll sit here and it's going to listen to me.
It's weird.
See, it's so weird. Or if I'll say turn Pandora
Hey Siri,
on.
text Tiffany Masters. It's time for you to get an iPhone! Exclamation point.
Hashtag iPhone. Right.
What is the best thing that you are?
Yes, send.
Oh, wait. Now watch. I'm not even going to touch my phone.
Okay.
And listen.
I have a relationship with Siri. Oh, it'll come. Don't worry about it.
It
Anyway,
will.
Let's.
And
anyway.
it'll
I
tell
don't
me
have a
what he
relationship
says.
with any kind of device
Actually,
except something that has
my boyfriend
batteries.
Sam doesn't want to hear what you have to say about me
Ooh.
cheating on him. Ha! It's called a cock blocker. I love my phone, Sam.
It's an instrument blocker.
Instrument, yes. You should not say that word. Instrument blocker. Anyway, back with CES 2015. We've got a party called Talk Nerdy to Me Saturday night at Gold Lounge. I'm totally going to get geeked out and do that. And so, with the whole Hakkasan taking over and everything, I don't know how much longer we're going to be around to do it. So we're going big this Saturday for Talk Nerdy to Me, where you all can come in and show me the latest apps for Android, please. Samsung,
Hey, time
hang
out.
with us.
Oh, I'm poking.
I know. Now I'm in between these
That's it.
apples
We're poking.
here.
Are you the orange
I've
between
got
the apples?
I've got a great app for you guys to check out. So if you guys like watching this show like I do, and you want to go back and watch other shows on alltalkradio.net, there's a new app. It's called the Swift Player app. Now right now it's on the App Store, the Apple App Store, whatever. I can't remember the name. I keep forgetting.
It's called the App Store?
Yeah, the App Store. Duh.
Play Store.
Wow, I'm actually
Yeah.
smarter
Okay. So
than you.
Google has the Play Store for Android, but I don't think this specific one is there. This app can do, the Swift Player app, you should definitely check it out. Is you can download videos from YouTube immediately to your phone. So if you're on Wi-Fi, it'll download, a small mobile version of the video file, and then you can listen to it at 2x speed, which is incredibly efficient if you want to listen to other people speak, which I love to do.
Wow.
And you can go through 8 hours of video in 4 hours,
Oh,
and then
wow.
there's no buffering at all because you've saved everything to your phone.
Oh, that's
So it's
great.
called it's called the Swift Player app. You can also set up bookmarks.
See,
it's
we're-
fantastic.
We're
It's
doing
really,
it right
really
here.
good. Yeah.
Talk nerdy to me. That's what we'll be doing on Saturday night, 9 p.m. for an open bar special from 10 to 12. It's $20 for guys to drink all night, and it's $10 for ladies. So
Oh,
get nerdy with me and find out about all this great stuff. And actually, let's make sure that we tweet that information out that you
Is
just
Michael
said.
going to be
That's awesome.
topless?
Oh my God.
Now that's Friends on Friday over at Red
Uh.
Rock, and we'll be there watching Chris from Zoe Bowie unbutton his shirt
Yes,
and
he
get all
does.
sexy.
He gets all hot.
Man,
Yeah.
congratulations to you, Jennifer Ramos. We are coming to see your sexy show.
Yes, I'm excited.
I'm totally stoked.
Yes.
She's been one busy girl, and to go see Lydia and Chris and Jen, and we've got a full schedule ahead to come support our local Las Vegas shows. So don't miss out on Sexy over at Westgate, and Zoe Bowie will be there Friday night after Hearthstone over at Red Rock Casino. So Friends on Fridays, which originally was going to be the single social, but I noticed in our dating community, a couple times women came up and said, I'm not here to meet anyone, but I just wanted to come and support.
I mean,
Then I realized
you-
why psychologically.
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter who you are, no matter what you look like or anything like that, if you go to a singles event and you don't meet somebody, if I did,
Right.
and if I left not meeting someone, that's still in the back of my mind saying, wow, I went to a singles event and I didn't meet anyone.
Oh, and it messes you up
It
inside.
just,
it's
yeah,
kind of like your
psychologically, I'm like, you know what? It's Friends on Fridays.
Listen, Skrillex at XS on a Saturday night is a singles event. It's just a different type. It's just a different type of singles
Which
event.
is a multi-million-dollar nightclub that we have out here in one of the casinos that
Skrillex
is.
is that?
Man, I wonder, no offense, how many Asians are there this weekend? It's got to be crazy.
There are a lot, but I mean the most.
Because it's out of in Macau. We have the same casino and everything out there. And now with CES, I bet everyone is in
Oh,
from
yeah.
Macau right now. I'd
I mean,
love to go see that.
It's a
They're funny.
if you go out, it is very male. Ladies,
they
if you
dominate.
want to come out and meet some nerdy men, this is definitely the week to come to Las Vegas to do that.
Especially on
I
Saturday
love
night.
nerds. I
The
do.
Talk Nerdy to Me party is going to be full.
Yeah. Saturday night's going to
Saturday,
be.
I'm sorry, Saturday night. Yes, they're going to do that party, and there's going to be a lot of hot people.
That's over at the Aria Hotel Casino. So
It's a fun
yeah.
place. I've been there. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
We'll be doing our party for AVN over there.
Yes.
But it's Meet the Hall of Fame sex symbol, and actually a meet and greet and take pictures with us. And Tabitha's going to hold down the fort, and we're
I
going
love how
to.
I'm holding down the fort. What
you
if I
are.
disappeared someplace? or
No.
something? Oh, man. All right, I'll hold
No.
down the fort. All right, only
No.
2 drinks for me because I'm one of those cheap dates, Michael. I'm
Oh
just
hell
saying.
no! I got you so set
Girl,
up. We are going to
I
go
am
big
so-
that
No.
night. I want to
Oh.
film a documentary that night.
I am so much cheaper of a date
Oh,
than
yeah?
you. You don't even know.
Oh, yeah, but how much vodka do you put in your Red Bull? I only put this
I've
much.
I don't
Oh.
drink at all.
At all?
At
Oh.
all. And you can make me happy with Chipotle.
Oh, that's such a
Jeez.
Oh, the
Yeah.
violins are coming out. La, 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 la.
La,
Yes,
la, la,
exactly.
la. Okay,
So-
Tabitha, tell us one story about CES
Okay.
and back in the porn convention. Do you have any memories that you'd like to share that is just really, that stands out about like one of the guys, like I love how they all have their badges.
Yes.
Remember how they come in wearing
Yes,
their badges and
yes.
all wait in line patiently, very nervous,
hours.
socially awkward.
Yes, I know. I have a couple, but one of them for sure. There's one time I had a line. It was about 2-hour line, and this is back in the day when you waited 2 hours and people waited. They paid a lot of money to get into the convention. The same. Just because you went to the Consumer Electronics Show doesn't mean that you had a ticket to get into the porn part of it. You actually had to pay separately. So even though you had a badge, it didn't matter. You had to pay separately to get in. So there's all these people waiting in line. So here I am, tired. Okay, I didn't take a break. It's 2 hours, and like my hand is hurting me. Finally, this cute little Asian man comes up to me. How cute you say that! And I was laughing when you said that. And he asks for an autograph. So I said, "Would you like it dirty or would you like it clean?" Because I had different things I'd say to people. I didn't want to just write bustfully yours, Tabitha Stevens. You know, like everybody does that. Like, who cares? I would write the nasty.
I write that, yeah.
I knew it, yeah.
That's my signature.
Yours would be ball bustfully yours.
It's on my bio on Facebook, yes.
But
You're so sweet.
But I would take the time, and I would get their name, and I would take the time, and I'd, just say, whatever they wanted. So I would ask them, though, because some people might get offended, because I can get really hardcore in what I say. So the guy wanted something dirty, and I said, okay. And I was rushing, so I wrote, I don't want to say the word because, F me. I was going to say F me, whatever. Instead, I wrote F you because I was so tired. And I gave it back to him. And I didn't think about it. And he said to me, did I offend you? And I said, well, no, why? And he said, are you mad at me? And I said, no, why? He said, you just told me to go F myself. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm like, oh, my God, I am so sorry. And I felt so bad. So I wrote it, but I'm like, I'm really tired and I really need to eat something. And he said, oh, that's okay, I'm just happy to have met you. But could you imagine, like,
yeah, it's horrible.
You write something and you like write it fast and you write like F you, like
so, I have some questions. During the AVNs, you guys ever filmed during the AVNs?
What do you mean?
Like do scenes up in the hotel rooms?
It's illegal.
You're not supposed to, but
illegal,
it's illegal. But no, I'll be honest.
We all
I
knew
did.
the bed with the thing that goes over it. You know how the Venetian has the curtains.
Oh yes.
Because
no, this is in the day before. Remember when South Park came out? Matt Parker and Trey.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker, yeah.
Backwards. That was the first time I ever met them before they even did that. Before Orgasmo came out, they came to watch a porn scene because they wanted to understand porn. Guess who was in the first scene they'd ever seen live? Myself, Ron Jeremy, and another guy. It was the craziest thing ever, and that was at AVN. And it was in somebody's hotel room, and we had to sneak it and really be quiet with it, and I got to meet them, and this is before they became big, and it was the coolest thing ever. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Oh, they always do. Please, they sneak in.
Yeah, that's what I've seen that before.
It's illegal.
It's illegal
here.
And then the other thing I was going to ask is, I've seen, and maybe you can comment on this, where it almost seems like they're grabbing fans from the AVNs and doing scenes with them, like crazy stuff like that.
I mean, unless normally. You have
it's
to have
harder than you think.
Right, and you have to. The thing is, maybe that was pre-planned.
Male porn stars.
Yeah, that's what I think.
You have to have a test. They're not going to work without a test, and you have to sign compliance forms. You have to sign 2257.
You got to come on call. You got to stay. It's a lot tougher for guys. I was a journalist for this year for 10 years in that industry.
You don't want to.
It's not anybody could be a porn star.
You don't want to do it early because if you lose it,
it's easy for girls. It really is. Well, it's a lot harder for guys.
Yeah. Well, no, you just fake it. I mean, I'm just saying.
Guys can't necessarily get those.
No, you can do a fake one. If it's a fake, it's called fake internal pop. Okay, which means that they're pretending like they're actually doing it in the girl. And if a guy actually did it earlier and you needed him for the scene, you made it look like he actually did it. And he's like, doing all the noises and stuff in the face. And he actually had already gotten off like a while back. And you pretend like it was inside of the girl. And then she's like, oh my gosh, it's so hot in there. I'm not going to get into the whole thing. But yes, it's called a FIP. Fake internal pop.
Cool.
Oh, it's called a FIP. I learned something today.
Yeah, this is.
Guys do it all the time with condoms.
This is what we brought to you. Thanks, guys.
Hey, with the CES, I thought it would be fun that we bring back a little porn convention in this week for you all. Aren't you glad?
Well, it's better than spitting on somebody's back, Michael, and pretending like you're gonna. I'm sorry. That's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother show.
Are you talking about monkey punch? Are we talking about donkey punch?
No.
You spit on their back and then they look around and you punch them in the.
What are you?
No, you don't punch.
I didn't
That's
make
an
it up.
RSD thing.
I didn't make
There's
it
a
up.
donkey punch, but
I didn't make it up. Go to urbandictionary.com and look up donkey punch.
Yeah, it's right next to the P ways that do it.
Actually, no. Go to urbandictionary.com and look up donkey punch and see there's like 38 million people.
Oh, Lord goodness.
No,
Get us back on track with the show today. Whoa, you never know what's going to happen when you wake up with me in Vegas here, especially with Michael and Tabitha. We went from artificial intelligence to monkey punches.
To artificial
yeah, there you go. There you are.
Everything's artificial today, even my breasts.
Yeah. Well, we've got a great show for you today, as always, and we will see you next Wednesday. Any last thoughts, you two?
I'm gonna let
Are you going to go down to the show? I'm going to definitely get into some kind of trouble.
Right, this weekend?
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to see. I got to think about this. I know that Saturday night I'd be kind of hanging out with you guys.
And then Friday night, I'll be right on that on your side. So yeah, we've got a full week ahead.
Yep.
And follow us on, you can get us right here at alltalkradio.net, but also on our social medias everywhere for Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. It's easy to find us. It's Michael Sartain, Tiffany Masters, and Miss Tabitha Stevens. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Mwah. See you next week.